All right, so you know that that teacher in Canada with a gigantic, big fake prosthetics on their chest. Well, we've long suspected that it was a hoax, but now we have even more evidence. This story came out just the end of last week. Trans teacher with Z-size prosthetic breasts dresses as man outside of school, neighbor says. Aha! We got you. Well, we kind of knew this. The rumor going around for a long time was that the big titties teacher was actually gaming the system. Here's the 4chan post addressing this. This dude is gaming the system. And Anon here yesterday was in this dude's class. This teacher was almost fired for toxic masculinity last year, as well as not embracing woke culture. He'd drop red pills to his class, such as how silly gender-neutral bathrooms are. The school board hates him. Here, he's now upping the ante to exploit the very clown world the school and society itself created. His long game is most likely to get fired and then sue for discrimination. There is no other explanation, no better way to troll. Okay, so we've heard now that this dude walks around with no costume on, and this suggests this may be true. The big titties teacher is gaming the system. Now, many have said, so what? Even if it is, this should not be around kids. And it's like, that's an interesting point. All you're doing is giving them exactly what they want by wearing the big titties. However, I can appreciate a little bit of the trolling. And if it has an impact, then good. Because look, you may say it's inappropriate around kids. I agree. But it already is around kids. Doing this, if it really is to game the system, is going to shock regular people into being like, whoa, 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 whoa. Well, we got another update here. This individual denies dressing like a man, claims the breasts are actually real. And this just seals the deal for me. This says to me, okay, it's a gimmick. It's a troll. From the Daily Mail. Intersex teacher with Z-cup breasts spotted dressing like a man outside of school insists they are real and has a rare condition causing them to grow, but admits she never got a diagnosis. You said she. It's just like, at what point do you recognize you're being lied to? There's pictures of this man walking around in regular clothes. It's not real. Claiming that giant, obvious, fake fetish breasts are real human tissue called gigantomastia, as caused by. Okay, it's clearly not real. They're still saying it. There you go. They're the big old BAZONGAS. And they're saying it's a trans teacher. Controversial Kayla Lemieux also denied that she dressed like a man when not on the school grounds, having allegedly been spotted without her large assets by one of her neighbors. I'm not wearing prosthetic breasts. These are real, Canadian Lemieux told the New York Post this weekend. It's just, no, they're not. They're not real. My condition is classified as gigantomastia, which can also be referred to as macromastia or breast hypertrophy, Lemieux said. It's rare, there's no doubt about it. It affects women on a very rare basis. But in my case, I believe, and my doctor thinks, because I have XX chromosomes as well, that has something to do with it. And hormone sensitivity to estrogen has caused it. Yeah, those are not real. Okay, sorry. Last week, a person bearing a striking resemblance to Lemieux was seen out and about wearing men's clothing, minus the prosthetics and wig. A neighbor identified that person as being Lemieux. They were later seen driving in and out of the apartment block and walking on the sidewalk later on. He wears prosthetic breasts extremely infrequently. He puts the breasts on to teach, occasionally when he goes for a walk or when the cops visit. The law enforcement source also says that officers, both uniformed and plainclothes, do regular welfare checks at her apartment. Amazing. And this is the problem, because the quotes say he and the news says her. You can't have it both ways, Daily Mail. I was driving past. You can see the breasts from so far away when you're driving, he said. He put the whole outfit on and just walked up and down the Guelph line. Guelph? No bags, just walking. Everyone slows down because you can't believe what they're seeing. Lemieux was quick to respond to the allegations. I can't tell you who that is because I don't want to bring anyone else into this. I don't want that person being thrown all over the media, but it wasn't me. This is who I am. This is how I look. You've been talking to people in my building, but what they're telling you is harsh and untrue. I'm always going out looking the way I am. Asked if she would ever look different out and about, I guess if I took my wig off or took off my makeup, But I would still have breasts. You can't hide them. People online making comments are basically body shaming. Come on. Come on. It's a troll. Body shame. I identify as a woman, female, she, her, Lemieux said when asked about her sexuality. My whole life, I've been identifying as male. I've been looking like a male. When I decided to embrace the other side of me around the age 39, this presented itself. Intersex people can have a mixture of those two different sets of chromosomes. It can be something they don't even know about. It can show up in other physical attributes at birth, so it can be more obvious or less obvious depending on the person. Students and parents have raised concerns about it, blah, blah, blah. Do they have the skydiving thing in here? Oh, yeah, there we go. Skydiving. I love this one. Look at this. Voodoo said he was only focused on jumping out of the plane, and discussing his personal feelings about transgender people with Lemieux would be counterproductive to their safety. In his bio, he described himself as the conservative porn star skydiver. I got it. Here's what I love about this article. It ends with an info box. What is macromastia and gigantomastia? Gigantomastia, and can intersex people get it? Doctors think it's triggered by changes in the production of estrogen. These changes can include puberty, pregnancy, etc. Medics, blah, blah, blah. It's considered rare. Men can get a similar condition called gynecomastia, where they too develop excessively large breasts. Like gigantomastia, it's generally linked to hormonal changes that can be triggered by puberty. Intersex is a broad term used for a range of differences in how people sexually develop. This blah, blah, blah. So anyway, look, I don't think anyone of sound mind is falling for these. These are not real. These are prosthetics. I'm pretty sure everybody knows they're prosthetics. I think you can even tell. I'm assuming the skin right here is you can see is probably part of the suit. Here's what you can do. Go to youtube.com/castcastle and watch the latest comedy gag with Ian. He's the host of Rian with Ian, and he's calling out bad contracts, and he's wearing a muscle suit, and you can see the skin tone difference in the neck. Luke Rutkowski of Weird Change bought gigantic bazongas, and because he wanted to do it, and we did a whole bit on Cast Castle at youtube.com/Timcast about it, and we couldn't put that on YouTube, unfortunately. Maybe we'll just put it on Rumble so everybody can watch it, because they won't ban us. And it's the same thing. You can see the skin tone difference. That's what I think we're seeing here. At this point, anybody who is acting like this is real, I'm just sorry. We see it with this teacher who may be trolling. And I think that's probably the most likely scenario. And then we see it with Dylan Mulvaney. Dylan Mulvaney, I do not believe, is an actual trans person. I believe Dylan Mulvaney is intending to insult trans people. Straight up. I say it before, I'll say it again. I'm not telling you have to like trans people or agree with gender ideology or anything like that. I'm saying when you look at the absurdity of, say, this Lemieux individual, and then witnesses saying he is outside without this stuff, wearing the stuff, it's like, yeah, okay, man, this is probably not real. Dylan Mulvaney apparently isn't undergoing the full treatment, but did get surgery. So people are like, well, that proves it. And I'm like, I think it's an individual who is deeply narcissistic and chasing the algorithm and putting on the caricature of a cartoon version of a woman to mock and insult women and trans people because it gets traffic. Dylan Mulvaney gets a ton of traffic when conservatives get mad. So Dylan's like, I make money doing it. This is the grift. I'm going to go on and I'm going to say these things. That's the nature of it. I think for this Kayla Lemieux, it's more of a political protest. So, all right, let's see it. Let's see how it plays out. Because I'll tell you this, it ain't working. I mean, maybe we're talking about it. It's considered shocking. But the school's not changing policy. So you may have gone this extreme. You didn't go extreme enough. Next thing you got to do is you got to get a fursuit. Put on a fursuit with the gigantic boobs. And, get, I don't know, something like that. You really got to push the line because apparently this ain't pushing hard enough. The school is defending this person. Local activists are defending this person. And I don't see you winning on this one. It was look at this, September 21st, 2022 is from when this post is from. That's how long this has been going on. And people are still falling for it. When the Daily Mail uses she, her pronouns for a person who's clearly walking around just like a dude and then claiming the prosthetic breasts are real breasts, it's just like, okay, look, you're being tricked. Why won't you just be like, we're not playing that game? Whatever, man. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up in a few minutes. Stick around and I'll see you all shortly.